Hello everybody, hope we're having a great month of October, and really, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about how great October really is. Now, I talked about Halloween not too long ago, but in general, I just love the month of October. I really, really do. I always have. Besides December, this is my favorite month of the year. And there's a lot going on, but there always is. And usually I've been too busy or too obsessed with even Christmas or something else to notice. But this year I'm really going to try to slow down and enjoy the ride when it comes to October, because it's a great transition. In many ways, and again, every October is different, which is another reason why I kind of like it. But there's some years where October almost feels like an extension of summer. Like, it literally, the weather and everything, other than the leaves falling, will feel like summer. And this October's kind of been the prime example of that. It started out kind of cool, like with a temperature around 50 degrees or so. And lately it's been more in the 70s, but, by the end of the month it could be in the 40s. That's kind of what happens. And I've always kind of liked that. It's kind of a contrast compared to spring, because here in Connecticut we don't really get springs. Every once in a while we do, but usually it'll be about 20 degrees from December to April, and then end of April, early May, it'll go up to 70. So we really don't get much of a warning there. With fall, though, I feel like there's usually, most times, a very cool, literally, a cool degradation from, the 90-degree summers to the 50-degree fall and winter, and then even lower, but October is just a fun month. There's the baseball playoffs. It just so happens that baseball is my favorite sport, so their playoffs are in October. I'm not a huge football fan, but I like to watch football all year long, especially in October. And, other sports get started or end. So really, October, there's a lot to love from a lot of different perspectives. Now, one of them, of course, is Halloween, which I mentioned earlier. And I do have some news on the Halloween front. Woohoo, because we're all following that. I actually, literally just about an hour ago, purchased the last piece of my costume, some very important black gloves, that will be incorporated into my big Halloween costume. So, as I mentioned, I'll be having some teasers throughout the month based on what that could be and what could be happening that night, as, again, even I don't know. And that's, again, kind of the cool part about October, is this is when a lot of the things develop. November and December, I like to call that game time, so to speak. Thanksgiving and Christmas, things get going pretty quickly, so it's easy to lose track of, what's going on. But October is kind of the down period, if there is such a thing, before those big holidays. Between Halloween planning and some Thanksgiving and Christmas planning, October is that one time, just after summer, but before the big, finale starts, that I can kind of catch my breath, and I can think about what's going to happen next as far as Christmas and Thanksgiving, because once the action plan starts, as many of you know already, I don't slow down. And I don't anticipate that being any different this year. As early as, the next week or two, I'll probably be looking at Christmas more seriously, as I always do, as I always have. And, that's just the way I do it. I realize a lot of people don't like to look at Christmas until late November even, but again, I try to keep my holidays, holidays are always going to be near and dear to my heart, even if it's Halloween, which has gone unrecognized recently. I always have a place in my heart for holidays. I always try to make time for holidays, even if I have to make an insane amount of time, just so that I can budget enough time to have, a really special Christmas, because that still means a lot to me, even at my age, even with everything else going on. Having a great Christmas is still very important to me. But before all that can happen, obviously, the fall is here, so anyway, I'd love to hear about your guys, plans for the fall and winter coming up. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're doing for Halloween, Thanksgiving, any great plans, or maybe some thoughts about October yourself, because October is here. October baseball is here, which is fantastic. A lot of cool things are happening, obviously, with the leaves changing and the weather changing, but enough about that. I'd love to hear from all of you. Happy Halloween, and have a great October.